Hi, folks. Chris Mask from Eastlink Community TV's Off the Chip Wagon. Hopefully, you and your family, you're doing well in these unique times. But find yourself a little bored, looking for something to do, we will consider this episode 3 of making cheese at home. So we talked about the acid cheese making method, which is where we got our ricotta cheese from. And we talked about the rennet cheese making method, which is where we got our mozzarella from. Considering we started that one with 3 3/4 liters of milk, it's to be expected you're going to get some byproduct. That byproduct is known as whey. Little Miss Muffet, she sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. Lots to do with this, don't just throw it out. This is what we're going to get when the lactose breaks down into lactic acid, and those protein chains, the casein and the whey, they get beaten up a little bit. You'll actually end up with another little perk to this called casomorphine, which will bind to the same receptors in your brain as narcotics do. So yeah, you really can get a euphoric feeling from eating cheese, and you also can get addicted to it. That's science. And speaking of science, the pH kits that we talked about when making the rennet-based cheese, you're going to want to break that out for this because we need to determine what type of whey we're working with. Anything over 5.2 on that pH scale is going to be considered a sweet whey. But anything below 5.1 on that pH scale is going to be known as an acidic whey. Best thing I can tell you to do, because there's going to be so much volume, get yourself an ice tray and basically make little ice cubes out of this. Because then all year you can pop a cube out, add it as stock to your soups. It is delicious. The other thing you can do is use whey to water your garden. Tomato plants, they love this stuff. Your tomatoes will be the belle of the ball by the time your growing season is done. You just have to wait until after they germinate, and you also have to be mindful of what else is in your garden, because if you have plants like lettuce, which can be a little acid sensitive, they may not be so receptive to having whey as a watering agent, but it's a little secret for you there. Another thing you can do, sub out water for whey in all of your baking. In fact, if you put whey into your pancake mix, you're never going to go back to water, even though it takes a little effort to get the stuff. You can put the pot back onto the stove, jack the temperature up to about 190 Fahrenheit, and eventually get ricotta. A little bit of calcium chloride, add that into the mix, and now you're looking at halloumi cheese. Yeah, let it separate naturally on the counter, and you know what you get at the bottom? This really creamy ricotta. I mean, it's almost like a Greek yogurt, but boy, delicious stuff here. Finally, if life is going to give you lemons, you know what you do? Get some local honey and make lemonade. Best of all, it's probiotic, diet friendly, and truly a cool and refreshing drink. Lots to do out there with your whey when you make cheese at home. Stay safe, everybody.